Hello, my name is Lance Winslow, and I'm a former franchisor founder. I started in the cleaning service business, mostly aircraft, cars, and boats, and eventually it grew into a multi-state operation. And I sold it in 2001 and retired. But I did write a book in 2011 that I think you might be interested in. It's How to Start a Boat Cleaning Business, and you can find it on Amazon Kindle just by going to their website and searching out my name, Lance Winslow. Now then, I want to talk to you today about market research because it's something that I know when I survey small businesses, independent businesses, something that they're not very good at, but there's really no reason they can't be. Many people start out their small businesses and they don't think about these things. They don't think it all the way through. Some people don't even write a business plan, and I understand why many people don't. Entrepreneurial spirit isn't about sitting down and doing research and reports. It's about getting out there and getting it done, going out and doing something, actually doing it, not just talking about it, not just writing about it. Still, you need to do a little research ahead of time. You need to know what you're up against. If you're going to start a yacht detailing business or a boat cleaning business or even do winterization services for people that own boats at the harbor, there's some things you need to think about. You need to take an assessment of how big the market is, where you're going to participate in this market, how many boats you expect to clean, and what type of equipment you're going to need, and how many people you're going to hire based on all these things. Now, you might just start out your business real small, and you have a few friends that have boats, and they're going to refer you to a few other friends and that have boats also, and pretty soon you'll get a little bit of business going. That's great. That's good. One way to start, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, it's a free market economy, or at least it's supposed to be, and you are allowed to do whatever you want. You just got to get a business license and not pollute the environment and those kind of things. But as long as you do that, you're not hurting anyone. We have the right to free contract in the United States. It's guaranteed by the Constitution, and you should go out and participate because it's the best way to enjoy a career, especially if you like working on the water or you like boats or you're just a nautical person. You just like the marine environment, and you can't think of a better thing to do with your time than go down to the marina. A lot of us feel that way. So, but let's backstep this a little bit and think about writing the business plan. And minimum, you need to do some marketing research. You need to know what's available. How many you can look out at the marina and you can see there's boats over here and there's some over there and there's a few over here and there's some other things over here, some fishing boats and this looks like people are working on dry dock boats and there's some stuff going on and you kind of get a hang of what's going on and you kind of mosey on and talk to a few people and think you're going to get the hang of it. That's all well and good, and I agree that you need to do grassroots intelligence gathering on the ground floor. You can't do everything over the internet. We're not the NSA. We don't have the big computers. And yes, you do need to do that too. But you really need to go do some assessment of the environment, see what's out there, find out if there's any competition, find out who's doing what, who's not doing what niches are available, what is not being serviced out there. You'll be surprised that there are things that people need. They're willing to pay big bucks for. They don't want to do it, and you can easily provide those services. You can create add-on services and things that people would want. As a franchisor, one thing I always say is you have to have regional variation. Even if we put, franchisees at Newport Beach Harbor or we were over in Jack's Beach and a lot of these other places, we had people in different places doing different kinds of things. In Puget Sound, it's different than in Channel Islands Harbor in California, and it's different than it would be if you're on the Great Lakes. Everything is a little different. The services people need, how they get the services, what they're looking for, it's all different. Boats on lakes are different than ocean marinas. And then there's the commercial fishing boats and things like that. Then there's the bigger ships, and there's all sorts of things you can clean. You can clean military ships. There's contracts being awarded to small businesses through their little program they have for small businesses. You get a prime contractor which goes and finds all the little small businesses to work with, and people do corrosion control. Hey, it's not fun work, but it's good pay. And there's a lot of it. I mean, there's so much to do. I mean, corrosion kills. They have to continually work on this stuff, especially when you're around saltwater. I mean, come on. Boat detailing and cleaning is a good business. Yeah, it's hard work. Well, we already know that. But speaking of the internet, let's get back there for a second. You do need to do due diligence on the internet. You need to see if there's other competition on social networks that are in your zip code or that are in your area, and you can use the keywords based on the name of the marina and look up the name of the marina, and then boat cleaning, and see if there's anyone else doing it. But a lot of people don't advertise because you know what? It's the type of business it is. It's very personal. If you do a good job on someone's boat, they're going to refer you to a friend and another friend, another friend. Pretty soon you have so much work you can't do it all. So you either hire people and grow your business and even seek out more business, or you just stay small, keep it simple. There's people that are even cleaning boats. They're going to be competitors of yours and you don't even know it. They don't have any business cards. They don't tell anyone. They may even live on their boat and they just do a few here and there, but they make quite a bit of money actually, and they're going to have some of the market share. They're always going to be that way. They're really hard to compete with because they've been there for 10 or 20 years. They know everyone, and everyone knows them. As a matter of fact, you should make them your best friend because they can refer you business because they're not going to want to do everything. Okay, now then, when you're on the internet, what you need to do is you need to fly over the marinas and the harbor and look down. Go into Street View, not or Street View, just one above Street View, like a 100 yards, 100 feet, view, and you can just fly kind of over the marina and see the size of boats, the types of boats, what you're dealing with, the percentage of boats that look like they're all wrapped up and no one ever comes out to them, the percentage of boats where people live on the boat, the percentage of fishing boats, the percentage of pleasure boats and sailboats. All these are a little bit different. They're a little bit different market. You have to market to them differently. And some are hobby people, and hobby people aren't really going to hire you. They like to kind of go out there and tinker with their boats themselves. They may hire you to clean the bottoms of the holes. That's a whole other business, but it is part of the boat cleaning and detailing sector. So you want to think about that. Some people may do the insides themselves. They don't want you to touch the inside. They just want you to wax it, the hole, or treat the teak, or things like that. You got to know what type of business that you're really looking at, and then find out who the competition is for that type of service that you want to provide. There's lots of niches available that aren't being provided for. I guarantee you, in your harbor, wherever you are, anywhere in the United States, you may think there's a whole bunch of people competing, but there'll be people that just totally skip entire sectors. And then there'll be 3 or 4 people that do canvas covers, but no one's doing the little railing things that are along all the little hardware pieces. And there's a tremendous amount of money in just cleaning that up or replacing cleats and things like that. So you got to think of that. And so if you know the types of boats that are out there, it makes it a lot easier. Then there's some stuff you can do on the ground floor that you may not have thought of. They make those little throwaway magazines. You see them around the harbor that say, boating news or whatever. Go pick all those up and look at them all the time. And you can easily have one of those companies write a story about your company once you get started. But you'll learn things about other people that are doing what. And you'll see little opportunities and niches that you probably wouldn't have saw unless you look through there. You'll also see little ads here and there. And these ads will be competitors, and maybe they don't even provide boat detailing services, but they provide, some other type of services, but also in all the bullet points of all the services they provide, they put detailing down there. But they may not do any detailing. They just put that there in case someone calls them and is going to pay them a lot of money. They'll say yes. But they're someone you should know anyway because they may not want to do the business. They may not want this extra detailing business, and they'll just farm it out to you. In trade for, you give them referrals for some of the things that they do. So you got to know who they are. Those co-market, co-branding opportunities are available. You got to know what they are and what's going on. You should put those in your business plan, or at least really be thinking about who you're going to partner up with. I say, because I'm a big networker, I believe in that. Not a social networker on social websites and all that stuff. I do a little bit of that, but really, I believe in real people, talking to real people and meeting real people and networking with them and helping them out. And you'll be surprised how much you know about what's going on. You'll have the pulse of the community and the harbor and the marine, and each little individual marina, whether it's private or not, every yacht club, you'll kind of know the feel of what kind of people join, what kind of boats they have, what kind of prices they're willing to pay or not, and get a lot of information that way. Another thing you need to do down is you need to go down to the harbor and little coffee shops and go into the eateries and go talk to some of the charter boat pilots and some of the people that do the rentals and things like that, and the bait and tackle shops. You need to look at all the little bulletin boards and see who tacked up their business card? Because you'd be surprised how many people they hand out a few business cards, and they get a little business, and then when they do all that business, they run out. Then they go get some more business cards, and they go get a little bit more business. They put a couple flyers up. Then they're busy. Then they don't want any more business. They won't even answer the phone. Then all of a sudden they run out of that business, and it's all done, and they want some more. And they come and go, and they move around, and sometimes they go away for a season because it's too cold or too hot or whatever, and then they come back again. So this happens a lot in this industry. In some areas it's very flaky. If you're working in Florida, it's amazing. All the people who say they're in the boat detailing business or they do marine services, but you call them up and they won't show up for 2 weeks. And then you hire someone else and they come up and they go, dude, I told you I was going to do it. Well, yeah, but you didn't show up for 2 weeks. What do you want? It's just a mentality sometimes. But then again, there's people that are just boom, boom, service, and they end up with all the work. They have all the best referrals, and you want to be one of those. But you need to know who they are, because just because you see a lot of people with handing out flyers and brochures and business cards doesn't mean they're any competition you ever have to worry about. They may not be interested. There may be only one person just do enough to get by. They may only work a few hours a whole week, and there's lots of business. Or there may be groups that really think and make it like a business, and they're working hard. I mean, they've got all the business. They've got it all sewn up. But to know what's going on, you have to have hypervigilance in your intelligence gathering. You need to know everything that's going on. You need to talk to people. You need to hang out and talk to people. We used to do this at the airport when we cleaned airplanes. You go and you do hangar talk. You just talk to people out there, airplanes, and you learn all kinds of neat and interesting stuff. And you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours in doing this. But you know what? After you do, all these folks become massive referrals for you. They send you all their business, all the people they know to come partake in your services. And there's a tremendous amount of money in that. Plus, it's fun. You meet really interesting, cool people. You meet more interesting people at the marina or at an airport, when we used to watch airplanes, than you do on the golf course or at the clubhouse. You really do. You meet people who are really they're so happy to be there. They just love to talk about their boat or their airplane or this or that, or they want someone to kibitz or complain to. And what the hell? Listen to what they have to say. And you know what? If they complain about something and it's some service you can provide, say, you know what? I'll fix your problem for you for X amount of dollars. And once you never even know what these niches are going to be until you start your business, but you can get a glimpse of what they might be. And all you really have to do is go out and start talking to people. And you start seeing doors open up you won't believe. And they will totally modify your business plan. Everything you thought you were going to be about in your business is all going to be changed as soon as you start or just before you start. If you do all this pre-marketing research, and you got to do it. You got to go down to the yacht clubs. You got to sit and talk to people. You really have to do this. And you should never underestimate the person that lives on their boat, because that person knows everyone and they know everything going on, and you should do whatever you can to help that individual, because that individual is a wealth of information. Just listening to what they have to say, it's worth buying them a lunch or paying for the fuel for their boat to go out for the afternoon. Fine, go do it. It is totally worth it. And I hope that if you're going to start a boat cleaning business, that you really start and think about the marketing research you do. You can't just go online and think you're going to learn everything about the area. It just isn't all there yet. And you know what? You got to look in the phone book. Yes, there are still phone books. They still exist, and people still place yellow page ads, and they're in the white pages. And all these people who might be competing, and all these businesses that own boats for various things, they are listed. Another thing you can do is you can go down to the county record office. I know one of the counties that I've recently been in, they have a tax assessment on boats. So they keep a tax record of every single boat owner in the zip code or marina. They know every single person, or if it's owned by a corporation or a trust or whatever, they have all that information of all the addresses and phone. Well, they usually don't give you the phone numbers, but they give you the address. And you can send people flyers, or you can find out, you can look them up and contact them and say, hey, I'm thinking about starting a boat business, cleaning business. Is that something you'd ever want? Do you think it's needed? Do you know anybody that might need it? Do you think I should do this business? And you know what? People are so nice. They will give you all kinds of advice and information that you didn't even know and you didn't even ask for because you know what? You didn't know what to ask. And that's the problem with doing market research. You know, a lot of companies and corporations think that they're just God's gift to the world, and these kids graduate with their MBA and they do their little song and dance and they get out there and they have all this information and they get all this data and they think they know God. Well, you know what? They don't. You can't know until you go. And so I hope you will, and no offense for anyone that has an MBA. You know, I wish I had one. I had to quit school to run my business, but and no offense to all you folks. You know how to write a business plan, and you probably don't even need this video. But I would submit to you that everyone needs to get out on the ground floor and get real intelligence and know what's really going on. And you can't know until you've been there. You can't know by looking at a map. You can't know by looking at ERSI software, ArcView and ArcData, and all the neat companies that they have providing data for them. And don't trust the census reports. You can't trust any of this stuff. Yes, it's good data. It's nice to know. It looks really good on graphs and charts if you're trying to get people to invest in your business, and it makes you look really smart and important. But you know what? I don't really care about looking important. I care about winning in the marketplace. I want you to win in the marketplace, and I want you to think about this. And you know what? I don't care if you buy my book. You can if you want. It would be nice if you do. If you can send me an email, you know, we can talk shop. You can ask me questions, and maybe I'll make another video to answer your question, and that way it provides the same answer for everyone, because a lot of people don't know which questions to ask, and quite frankly, I don't know what's going through every mind of every entrepreneurial startup, but having been a franchisor, I've heard all the questions, I think, and I'm sure you'll come up with new ones. Boy, it's really interesting when you start teaching. You learn so much more by the questions that trigger all these interesting facts and memories that you have about how to get things done. And you know, it's always the new guy that comes up with something new, something incredible, some great way to make money. You're thinking, oh my God, I've been in the business 20 years. How come I didn't think of that? Well, if you want to be thinking like that, you need to observe and then orient yourself. And then you got to decide if you want to do it or not. And then when you do, you act. It's good. It's fun. You know, entrepreneurship is great. Owning your own business is great. Just, you know what, do it right. Get a good foundation. Get your first good step forward and really think about what you're doing. You know, you may find that maybe you don't want to start a marine detailing business where you are, because it's not going to work out that well. And you know, it's better to know in advance than to start and sink. That's just no good. It costs too much money to start a business, or it takes too much time. Either way, it's time and money usually. And you know, they say, you know, people that own boats, it's a good way to spend a lot of money. It's not a good way to make money. But you know, in the boat cleaning sector, you actually can make money. And if you're going to be out the marina anyway, you might as well do something worthy. Okay, so that's what I have to say for now. I hope you will stay in contact and think about what I said. And really, you know what? It doesn't really matter what type of business you run. I've done all kinds. And what matters is that it's your mindset, how you think, and how you approach the problem. And you can't spend too much time, you know, analyzing, what do they call it, analyzing analyst you know, where paralysis, where you just you got all this stuff and you can't make a decision. You got all these things to think about. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about really getting in and getting a feel for it. So you kind of you understand what's going on, how it all works, and where you can fit in there, and how you can make money. And you know what? That's what it's all about. It's your mindset, the way you approach this problem. Because anyone can start a business, and that's a good thing. But so many people fail because they don't have the right foundation. You know, most people fail because they don't have enough capital. I'm assuming you're going to go get the money you need to start the business, or you have it saved, or you've worked hard and you've got some cash, or you can borrow from friends or family, or crowdfunding, or whatever you're going to do. I'm just assuming you can do that. But it's not just about the money. You can blow through a lot of money and have an incredible burn rate, never make any money, and then you're looking at the books going, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? Well, you know what? You should have thought of that before you started. And I want you to start thinking about that now, and thinking about your market research. Really get a good handle on it, because if you really think about it from a rational standpoint, you'll be much better off than you fly off the handle and try something that doesn't work. They'll be good and bad come once you get started. You'll find new niches and new opportunities. They're going to be there. You're just going to find them, and you're not, probably not even think about them at first. This will help open the doors and open your eyes to so much more. Okay, so that's my message today. I hope you guys have a good one. Appreciate it, and Happy New Year. It's 2014 today, and I had nothing to do, so I thought I'd produce this video for you.